Hi everyone, Vanessa Neves Rivera, certified health and life coach, and today I would love to read and start with this. I had always believed my challenges would lie in overcoming the obstacles to my goals, but I was wrong. My deepest turmoil has had nothing to do with the things I didn't get, but rather in the things I did not expect and got anyway. Yeah, that was what happened to me 2005. I was living in Puerto Rico, I was married, I was working as a real estate agent. Me and my husband, back then, I was married back then, we worked very hard and we got to buy our dream home. Things were pretty good, I cannot complain, until the moment that devastated news came and hit my life. I felt until that moment I know what is to have a relationship with God. I grew up in a Christian home, so until that moment everything was okay, but I felt frustrated. I felt deceived by God. I felt very disappointed. I couldn't believe what was happening, not only to my mother and my family, but also to me. I couldn't believe I made everything about me. Um, but again, my world turned upside down. I entered into this resistance mode, and with the resistance mode, the shock, today I still can have dreams like in nightmares about receiving the news that my mother was got cancer. And so for you to know how powerful is the mind. And but anyways, so I was in shock, I was in denial, I was very resistant to accept and flow with the circumstances. And so I became very angry. I turned and became the most angrier person and bitter person you could be around. By the way, I know I pushed everyone around me, my family, my friends, my brothers and sisters from church. I know I pushed them away. I didn't want to know anything about God, anything that had to do with His will, that I had to accept what was going on, that everything has a purpose. I didn't know anything about that. I just wanted to receive the miracle. I just wanted my mother to be healed, but at the same time I was having this rage and battle and rebellion towards God. And so, and that provoked that the way I managed the emotions and the circumstances that I was living in, I began to eat most of all junk food. And so just for you to know who I was before that moment, I was growing up, I was a chubby girl. Sometimes I was overweight, and growing up I didn't like what I used to see in the mirror. I didn't feel comfortable with my body. Anyways, so I was very shy, like I said, and I developed this low self-esteem and low self-worth. But so I tried everything. I tried everything in the body weight loss industry. So I tried pills to um, pills to increase the metabolism, pills to decrease the appetite, pills to sweat more. I tried signing up and spending a lot of money in expensive programs, and I also tried extreme measures like the tea for weight loss and laxatives. And so many of the times I got the body and weight I wanted, but something happened that I went back to the same weight I used to disgust myself. So when that moment hit my life, 2005, I was in a weight that I felt comfortable, but that event, the way I used to manage my isolation, I knew later, after, that I was going through a major depression disorder, anxiety. Um, the way I used to manage, not work, manage the situation, my emotions, um, was by eating, as I said, junk food. So then I began to uh, I began to get more weight, and I was creating another problem. I was creating not only I had not only the problem to find a healthy way to work with the loss of my mother, but also I was creating this anxiety every time I saw myself overweight, with my face with pimples. Um, the clothes didn't fit me, so I used to eat more because I knew I was getting over and more and more overweight. I disgusted myself every time I saw myself in the mirror, and the way that I was dealing again with that anxiety that I was building in my body was again eating more and more. So it came the time when my mother died. It was in September 2006. By the way, it wasn't until my mother died in a Friday, I think, and it wasn't until Wednesday, the Wednesday before of that Friday, that I still was waiting for a miracle. But seeing my mother suffering, I decided to. In that moment, I remember that Wednesday I was in the hospital with her, and I decided that to talk to God and let Him know that I was okay. If He could just wanted to take her. So I was very, very, very resistant, and I think that was one of the things that got me into this rebellious and rebellion attitude, this bitterness. But those things I learned many of those things later. So when once my mother passed away, I returned to my job, and what I was doing to manage everything that was happening inside of me was still eating. I used to come from my job and sitting in my couch in front of the TV with a bag of chips, salty chips, or with a bag of milk chocolates, or with a bowl of ice cream. And I used to do it every day, every day, every day. I remember the last time I waited, I was in a balance. I weighted 175, and I'm pretty sure that I got that wasn't the maximum weight I gained, because in pants my size from 8 went to went to 14, but the 14 were getting very tight, so I would probably gotten into the 16, 18 comfortable. So I would have I think I reached the 180, 185 pounds, and I was like that for almost a year. My physical symptoms were very lack of energy. I was very tired all the time, even though I was going to work, but I was very tired. I was very angry. I didn't have energy. I lost, because also in the emotional part, I lost my north. I lost everything that represented my belief. I didn't have anything to hold on to for my life to move on, because everything that I grew up with, that I made and developed, that I built up the beliefs is they were gone. They were gone. So for me, it was very difficult to move on. So I used to be pretty much alone for a year, until one day I was so tired of being tired. I was so tired of only exist. I was not living at all. I was just existing. And as I said, I wasn't a very person to be easy to be around, and so I was very, very tired, and to the point to be bored, and I decided to go to the gym. I was one of those people that I used to help the gym pay the utility bills, because I had a membership but I never used it. But in that moment I was so tired. I was feeling so like I said, empty inside, with no north in my life, with no goals. I lost everything that I was dreaming of to have in life. So I decided to go to the gym, and by my surprise, I spent in the gym like 2 hours. When I got home, I didn't felt tired. On the contrary, I felt a little bit energized. So in that moment, I decided, and I had the intention to continue going to the gym, because I felt something different in my body, and because I felt different in my body, something in my emotions started to change. Until that moment, I didn't want to know anything about God. But from that moment, I see now that God used the physical exercise, little by little, going to the gym, seeing people, establishing and developing new relationships and new connections. It helped me some motivation to move forward, to something to be looking forward to do. And little by little, I started to gain again that sense of direction. So that was the beginning of something that God was working on me. After that, I knew that I had to make some changes in my life, not only in the physical part that I already started 1 year after my mother died. So later on, I knew that I had to do something. Because I continued feeling empty, alone, without north, without goals. But something started to change, and I think, as I said, God used the physical exercise to start doing some work in me. So now I am going to end reading this. It's in Jeremiah 29. This is one of my favorite verses, of the Bible. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. Then you will call upon me and go up and pray to me, and I will listen to you. And you will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. I will be found by you, says the Lord, and I will bring you back from your captivity. We have an awesome God. So I have more to say about my life, how I became a health coach and life coach, but that will be in another video that I will see you soon. And I hope in any ways that this can help you. There's always hope. No matter what you are going through, you could be going, or you could maybe something happened to you like me years ago, and you can still move forward. Maybe you feel empty, you feel without north, but here I am. What God did for me, He can do it for you. I am not better, I'm just different. So join me in my next video, and so take care, God bless. It was a pleasure, and yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.